Good morning, everyone. Today, I will give some basic information about observer pattern. So, let's start with what is meant by observer pattern and why should we use the observer pattern. Observer pattern defines one-to-many dependency between an object and any number of observers so that when the object changes its state, all its dependents are notified and updated automatically. So, what does it mean? Here, it means that observer pattern is used when and only when the one-to-many ratio is present between the object. So, in simple words, if one object is modified, its dependent objects are to be notified and updated automatically. So, now observer pattern is also known as dependence or public subscribe or delegation event model. Now, if I want to give some example about observer pattern, then suppose you have some data that can be displayed by a table or a bar graph or a pie chart. Then changes to the underlying data should be reflected in all three types of the data. This is where observer pattern comes into picture. So this is an example. As you can see that there are three types of display methods that you can use, that is table or a bar graph or a pie chart. So as you can see, this is the data which we have, and if there is any change in this data, then it should be reflected in this bar graph or a pie chart or this table. Now, if the notification is occurred, then it requests for modifications in all three types of display methods and it gets modified. Now, when to use observer pattern? Now, as I already told you what is meant by observer pattern and when to use it, you can read this like the subject doesn't know exactly how many observers it has. That means subject should be able to notify its observers without knowing who these observers are. That is, the objects need to be decoupled. Now, this is the generalized structure. Here, the subject means the interface for the concrete subject, and concrete subject implements the subject interface. Likewise, observer is also an interface for the concrete observer, and here the concrete observer is the actual object that is observing the state of the concrete subject.